Hey everybody, and welcome back to RSB Outdoor Adventures. Today I am messing around with putting new wheels and tires on the Mini Mate camper before we head to Alaska. I went from a B rated tire to a C rated tire, so go a little bit faster with it and have a few more pounds on it. The B rated is a max load of 590 pounds, and the C rated is 760 pounds max load. I did go with a little taller tire. Hopefully that don't bite me in the butt. I've read a lot of different reviews. A lot of people are running them. A lot of people run into issues. I'm going to figure out the hard way, I guess. I'm thinking if I have room, I am going to take my old set of wheels and tires with me, even though I have a spare underneath here. That way I've got a backup plan since it's a 10,000 mile ride. I'm also going through and checking the wheel bearings. I've already done the other side, and I got to thinking, I'm posting these videos and I'm not being able to show how I done it or the process of doing it because it's already done. And I don't want to do it again. So it's either buy a new camper and a new motorcycle and start over from scratch, or I guess leave it to where you find your own videos to watch. But today I am going to swap out the wheels and tires. I'm going to tear this apart, check out the wheel bearings, so we'll jump into it here. To get to the wheel bearings, the first thing you got to do is get your trailer jacked up. I just use the factory stands on it, fold them down, and jack it up high enough to where it's clearing. You can spin these and tell that they're spinning freely and there's no noises or anything coming from it. Probably wasting my time. This camper's got about 7,000 miles on it, so I should be plenty good, but taking this long of a trip, I wanted to bust into them and check them. The other side showed no signs of heat or anything on them. And I can cheat while I'm here and use power tools instead on the road and have to use hand tools. I guess I can show you here. I don't know how well you'll be able to tell, but there is, I don't know, a little bit of a difference there on the height and with the new tires and wheels. So once you get the wheel removed, get all my tools around here, there's this rubber plug here that just kind of helps keep the grease from flinging all over. I just take a screwdriver and be kind of gentle. By the way, side note, gloves are pretty much a necessity here, because this is a messy job. Not a hard job, but a messy job. And a huge roll of paper towels. Just don't let your wife know that you took them. Paper towels are getting expensive. They are jumping up. We just had a conversation at dinner the other night, and we buy the bulk packages of napkins and everything, and myself and my daughter are the world's worst about, instead of grabbing a napkin in a bulk package, we just go over and rip a paper towel off. And my amazing, beautiful wife showed us the price difference on paper towels from what they were and what they are now, and it's crazy. So next thing we're going to do is remove this dust cap cover. You can take a pair of channel locks sometimes and wiggle them apart. Didn't work on the other one. Not even going to do it this time. So I'm just going to take this smaller screwdriver and put right on the edge there and just barely tap and let it slide back behind there. Don't got to hit it hard. This is kind of hard to do when you're trying to video and get in there. and it'll slowly just come up and off there. Once you get it started, kind of turn your screwdriver with it in there. And it'll slowly pop out of there. I should really use a rubber mallet. However, I don't know where mine's at. So, use what I have. Alright, there's your cover. And you can tell it's got a ton of grease in there. Then take all of this and wipe it off to where you can see what you're doing. Get yet another one of the wife's paper towels. You go through a lot of them on this. Alright, once you get that cleaned off, there's a cotter pin right here, and you got to straighten it out a bit to where you can pull it through. Once you get it straight, I take my needle nose and put through the eye of it. Just tap it out. Now, apparently some of these Mini Mates come with a cotter key and some don't. Mine does. Mine's a 2024 model, or anyway, that's the year I bought it. I guess I'd have to look at the title to see what year it actually is. But then you got this retainer piece that goes on there. And it's got slots where you can line it up to put your cotter pin back in when you're going back together with it. As you can tell, I mean, the looks of the grease are where it hasn't been hot or anything. And then, once you get that off of there, clean this up a bit. Now this axle nut should not be tight at all. I lied to you. Well, there's one thing about it. When all else fails, get the tools that you should have anyway. That one was tight compared to what I will probably have it set at. So I'll tell you now, I'm not even going to pull the back bearing out because I don't have a new seal to put on the back. But judging, unless I get in here and there's a lot more wear on this than what there was the other side. If this looks as good as the other side, I'm not pulling the back one out. I can kind of walk you through it and let you see. I was going to buy new bearings and just put brand new ones in it. But once I got into it, it didn't look bad enough to worry about it. So once you get that out of the way, I always try to keep it halfway clean through the process. You can grab a hold of that and pull it off. There is a flat washer right here. And with that flat washer comes more grease, of course. But this washer has a flat spot right here, and the rest of it's rounded. So that flat spot, let me get this out of here, pull the bearing out. Set it down right there. So that flat spot, if you look on your spindle, right here, there's a flat spot. And when you're going back together with it, you just gotta make sure and line that up there. So that will allow you to pull your whole hub off. Now to get the back one out, I'll cover this real quick and then I'm gonna put this back on here. There's this black seal right here that you'd have to pop out, and your rear hub or rear wheel bearing is right here. I am not going to pull it out on this one. Slide that back up on there and make a mess. All right, so now let's get yet another paper towel. And I'll clean this one up and show you what I'm looking for. So when you can't really go off the looks of the grease inside there. You really want to tear into it and look at the actual bearing. And get this cleaned off. All right. So the first thing I look for once you get it cleaned off is on your bearings here, they'd be discolored, either blue from heat or black, kind of a brown tarnish. These have, well, they do have a little bit of wear. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the camera or not, but I'm guessing it's from where it was just a little bit too tight. It's got a little bit of wear there, but nothing that'll hurt it for this trip. After this trip, that'll put me about 17,000 miles on all this, and I'll tear it all apart and replace everything. But so that's pretty well what you're looking for. You're looking for any kinds of wear signs around on either side. Check back here, make sure there's no wear in here. No shiny spots or anything. That all looks good in there. And yeah, I'd say they just had it tightened just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and repack this one since I tore it apart. And I do it the old-fashioned way. Take and pump some grease out in my hand. I got this grease at Walmart. It's extreme red because normal red would not work for this trip, so I had to get extreme red because it's an extreme trip. So pretty much what I'm doing is just taking this pile of grease here, and there's a gap here between the inner and the outer where your bearings are, and just take and push that grease up in there like so until it starts kind of coming out the bearings there. You can see it start squeezing out at a time. If you have a son or a daughter that likes to get dirty, this is a great job for them. Teach them how to do it. Mine's out dealing with her chickens right now, so she ain't gonna do anything with me. She's been to DC on a school trip, Washington DC, and got to saw a bunch of cool stuff, changing of the guard and all sorts of stuff. Went to New York. She wasn't a fan of New York, I don't think, from the conversation we had late last night. So anyway, just work your way around till you get all that packed up in there and a good amount starts coming out. These actually weren't too bad because I didn't clean them. All right. So when you go back together with this, the tapered part goes in, the bigger part is towards the outside. So reach up here and grab a hold of this. Now, being stubborn, there we go. Get it lined up to where you can push it back up in there. And you'll feel it get back up in there as far as you can. Take and kind of clean this off where I can see what I'm doing. All right. Then you go back together with it the same way, the opposite order that you took it apart. So you got to put your washer up on there. Get your nut. Now on your nut, you get it started. This is your axle nut. I should probably change gloves, but I'm not going to. There we go. Alright, so I'll get that started up on there. Try to get some of this grease off of my gloves, even though it's not going to help. And I'll just kind of hand tighten it here. And you want your hub to still turn freely. You can go a little bit tighter. If you over tighten it, which I can't do because I have, yeah, there's that. See how that's a little bit tighter? Just back it off a bit, kind of hand tighten it where it flows good. You don't have any weeble or wobble in it when you do that. That's all there is to it. Clean that up a little bit. Try to keep, if you don't wipe all your grease off of this, once you get to going down the road, it'll actually splatter all over your vehicle, your trailer, whatever you're doing it on. All right, so this is your retaining clip. Find where it's packed full of grease right now, but find the hole where your cotter key goes. Push it through. Maybe. Straighten that out a bit. Okay, so that's how you can tell where your hole's at, and then you just take this and turn it until it lines up right there. Once you get it lined up, uh-oh, did not want to go in that time. Oh, that's why. Well, this thing's being a booger. Let's see if that'll get her. There we go. Poke that through. And there's two pieces to it here. Split them. Bend them over. Like that. It's on there nice and snug, but it still spins easy, which is where you want it. Put your dust cover back on. Once again, I should be using a rubber mallet. I don't know where mine's at, so we're just gonna slowly, gracefully tap this back on here. Get it seated down. I'm not hitting it like this. The side of the hammer will do better. Alright, that's seated on there. Grab the grease gun and go ahead and make sure it's topped off on grease. And I just watch up in there to see when it starts squeezing around the inside. Right there it is. Well, I'm pumped for the good guys. Sorry about that, I got a frog in my throat. Alright, once that's done, take your little plug, pop it in there, make sure it's on there good, give it one last wipe down. All right. Well, the messy part's over with. Let's get rid of those. All right, now to go on with the new wheel and tire. And I guess I could take this little block. You can tell it's just a little bit. The block still almost wants to go up underneath there, but not quite. So they are a little bit taller. Like I said, I'll either regret what I'm doing right now, or I'll love it. I'm not gonna lie, this was an accident. It was that's what happens when you get on Amazon ordering stuff too quick and don't look at the details. So the old tires are 4.80 by 4.00-8. This is a 4.80-8. It's missing the 4.0. So I don't know, we'll see. The other side appears to have plenty of clearance. I don't know what the torque spec to those are, but that looks good for right now. I'll torque them down later. I got some other, I'm going to check on my tongue bolts underneath here in a bit. So once you get it put back on, see how free that spins? Spins plenty free. So that's good, but it's not loose. So anyway, that's my new wheels and tires and how to service your wheel bearings. Hopefully I don't regret not doing the back ones, but we'll see. All right, well, that is all for now, and hope you have a good weekend. This is Saturday. It's kind of rainy again outside. Missouri weather's not being nice, but all right, guys, well, appreciate you watching. Have a good day.